How's it going, Critter Family? I hope you all are doing well. We are back at it with a video from Tara, with little Miss Bella. She says, teaching Bella to stand square to mount. Riding Bella on a windy day, she finds it difficult. She finds it difficult. Okay, so we got, a little beware flag on her tail. We've got bright, colored owl. I don't know what that means. Maybe like look or something. Young horse in training. Good to know, but really it is a young horse in training, but not by a competent trainer. Apparently this horse does not seem at all ready to go riding, especially not on like windy days or anything like that. But okay. So using this footage under Fair Use Act, Tara, for education, criticism, giving my point of view, trying to give a voice to the horse, point out some things I see, give a different point of view, and people can like it or not like it. They don't have to check out my video. I will even say, if you want to go check out Tara, by all means, support her. I will never tell you not to. If you want to support me, you're more than welcome to. You can subscribe, like, or dislike my and comment on my videos. You can check out my Patreon. It's just an option. Get some special videos or some longer content where I cut out a lot of the ramblings or stories that I tell in my videos, my reviews. So, let's get started. She's so cute! Already chomping on the bit. I don't like bits. What is that part of her body? Like, that looks like a weird lump of, like, muscles there. Horsey people that really know about a horse's, anatomy can tell me, is that normal to have, like, that just random lump, or is, like, it looks like a group of muscles. I just haven't seen that a lot. Maybe I'm just crazy, but, I mean, like she's still developing her body. This horse is still, like, I think 4 years old, and research is showing you shouldn't really even ride a horse until 6 or 7, because their bones are still fusing and they're still growing. And you can do a lot of groundwork. You can do light little rides, but all this heavy riding at 4 years old, she's not even finished growing. So she wants her to square up because her little foot is back here. So either she is kind of relaxing. God, this bit looks tight. Like, we already see a wrinkle here. From here, I can see a wrinkle. I don't like bits anyway, but especially, this one just looks like just tight and uncomfortable. Of course, they're always uncomfortable. That's how they work, but this leg could be either she's leaning it back because she's trying to get more comfortable, or she's doing this because she's learning that when I do this, you don't get on me. Because when you get on me, you cause pain all over her body and her mouth. It's uncomfortable. At least I don't see shoes on her, which is good. You can see this nice looking foot here. It has a little tiny gap under the hoof right there. That allows her foot to flex, where a lot of times shoes will not allow that flexing of the hoof. See, that muscle is still there. That little... What is that? That just doesn't, from this angle anyways, does not look natural to me. Unless I'm just crazy. Maybe there's just a weird shadow. Maybe it could be like... But it just looks like it's square. So again, I'm sure the horsey people already would have told me. She's already pulling her back on her bit. Ow. 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 That was a fairly soft sit. So I will give her that. She's still too large for this horse. That has nothing to do with anyone being overweight, although that, weight in general. This is just a small horse. It is a young horse. This could be a muscle issue due to, walking unnaturally and carrying a heavier, weight. I myself always say, I choose to ride on larger horses. I would not feel comfortable riding a horse less than 1,200 pounds. because I want to make sure, and even then I would still be hitting that, like with the saddle and everything, that 20% range. I would much rather, I prefer the larger draft horses anyway because I just love the look of them, and I know I'm a much lighter load. I would never get on this horse, not even, maybe get on and get off, and that would be it. And I would do it once. When she's a little bit, bigger and stronger. But just as a personal, just as the weight alone, nothing to do with, look, I have body image disorder, so I'm huge on making sure that I am not trying to trigger anyone about body dysmorphia or anything like that. Okay, I'm the last person who ever wants to shame anybody for how they look, and that is not my intention. I'm trying to say, in general, just the weight of Tara on this horse, whether it's just a fully grown small horse or she is known to be a young horse that still has room to grow. As of now, I believe Tara is just too large for this horse to carry. But she did get on softly. Of course, the horse walks off, so I wouldn't even go riding yet, because that would be the first behavior that I would want to teach. Is I want my horse to, if your horse walks off on you before you're even in the saddle, which this saddle looks a little small. I know English saddles are like meant to be like look a certain way. I prefer like a Western saddle because it has more room for the person. It has more square inch, space, evenly distributed, and your weight is more evenly distributed around the horse. But anyway, if my horse is walking off on me before I'm even able to sit down and get comfortable, and I can do whatever, and I can sit and move and all that, and and my horse is able to stand there, then we're ready to ride. But if I just get on and I can't even get my foot in the stirrup without them walking off, that's what I'm going to work on. And again, this just looks weird. Like this group of muscles is, it just seems to stand out to me, but. Bella's already like fighting, it looks like. Her ears are going back. It's windy. She's messing with the reins. She's going back and forth. Oh, Bella's so cute. Okay, so she's going in the arena, so she's not going out for a trail ride, which is, I will give her that. It's smarter to do it in a fenced-in area. I'd still, again, this horse still doesn't need to be ridden yet. If you have like a very, small person, really lightweight, but even then, let this horse grow, do a lot more. This horse has a lot more groundwork to be worked on before she's even ready to be ridden, regardless. Even if you got like a 5-year-old kid on this horse. Okay, so I don't know what happened there. She gets up, she twists around, so I would probably have her face here, and we're just going to, say if I were riding this horse and she were, fully grown and all that, okay? Say she's okay to be ridden and all that. I would just have her face this and maybe go back through that again and come back, but I'm not going to force her. I'm just going to turn her around, we'll stand there for a second, and we'll redo that, so that way she doesn't feel nervous about going through a gate. You may plan to go doing your whatevers in the arena or go for a trail, but this is a great opportunity to work, especially with a young horse. Even a horse that's, say, 20 years old and you say they're dead broke. Be flexible with what your animal is learning and what they can teach you and what you can teach them. This would be a great opportunity. She comes and she spooks, I would turn around and say, okay, let's work on this real quick. It's just like when I'm training with dogs. If we're working on a behavior, I'm trying to teach loose leash, but the dog becomes really scared of just the noise of the wind or a person walking by. That's what I drop what I'm doing and I say, okay, that's what we're going to work on first, because the animal is telling me we need to work on this. So again, into the immediate sidestep.
Bella doing her Tigger impression. Bottom is made out of springs.
Tigger impression. So she sees it as Bella's just being silly. I see it as something spooked her and she wanted to turn away from it, or maybe the guy filming spooked her because now she has him in her eye, or maybe it was the bit. Who knows? But I would make sure that if she spooked from this, we'd walk back and forth and make sure this wasn't what spooked her. And again, a lot of people are saying she's like sidestepping to avoid leg pressure or pressure on the bit. I mean, that's what I originally thought that, well, I guess I originally thought that she was purposely doing that, but, you know, over time I think that she's trying to avoid pressure. So she's telling her to walk on, she's still fighting it. Tight bit, tight reins. Throwing her head, saying there's a lot of pressure, my back hurts, you know, my mouth hurts.
I think you'll be able to hear the trees all rustling because it's quite windy, and she just can't help herself. She just has to put in these little lateral movements every now and again.
So she says it's because the trees are moving. She doesn't see it as the tight bit, that she's too large, the horse is in pain, the horse is uncomfortable. It could be the trees, you know, on top of all that, but it's always another excuse other than the person themselves riding the horse. You know, with very tight reins. Chewing on the bit, tail swish. Oh, there is a fly here, so it could be biting on her. That could be very irritating. Another little kind of kick of her back leg, so I think this could be the reason why she's getting irritated, along with everything else. I will say, at least right now, she's walking. I prefer to see walking than just go into endless canter and circles, but I mean, that's like one of the only things I see that's good. Then we have confusion and distraction from the guy over here. She's chewing on the bit, which, you know, all those people that say like, oh, horses chew on the bit because they like it, blah, blah, blah. No, they don't. I mean, why do they have to make, like, you know, peppermint bit wipes to flavor the bit, or why do you have to shove your finger up in their mouth to force them to take the bit if they liked it so much? You put a piece of iron or rubber or leather or plastic in your mouth, take out some teeth and put it there on top of your gums and have somebody ride you and pull your head around. It's just nonsense. So now we have the ears going back. I haven't really focused on the ears so much, but we'll see how long they stay back like that, because that's frustration. So now while she's walking, she's talking, like in another video I just did where, oh God, look at these. In another video I did about Joel Beckman talking about, you know, don't tell your dog he's a good boy or whatever. Don't talk to him a lot. You know, dogs, unlike horses, you know, appreciate acknowledgement. In this case, horses, it's just, you're just teaching them to ignore your voice. She does not care. Does this face look like it cares that you're talking to her? You know, as much as I love horses and I love to let them know that I love them, they don't care. So I try to be quiet, especially if I were riding one and I wanted to teach a new animal, especially a new horse. My words are very important. I wouldn't just be, you know, carrying on a conversation while I'm training with them. You know, if I'm just walking around cleaning up the paddock or whatever, then yeah, of course I might talk to them a little bit, but, you know, here and there. But here it's just all the more confusing. Okay, so she's you know, looks like she wanted to kind of buck there, throwing up her head. She's frustrated. Ears are pinning. Tail is active. So then we have a cut, and now she's going into a little trot. Ouch. Look how much she's already foaming. Goodness. Poor little thing. Like, God, this bit is just constantly rubbing. Tail swish. As soon as she goes to pet her, she gives a tiny little tail swish. So I don't know if she even told her to go on or not, but she went on her own. So again, confusion. If you want her to stop, make sure that you keep her there until you ask her to move on. If you don't care that she stopped, then fine. You know, either keep her going or just let her stop, and just be aware of what you're teaching the horse or what they're learning versus what you think you're teaching. Foaming up here already. Now, the little, very good. I'm personally okay with that. You know, when I'm working with, I'm teaching a horse I'm working with to ground drive, you know, I'll tell her, like, good. You know, when she gives to pressure and she turns, you know, to the left or to the right, I ride. I work her in a rope halter, you know, just to with just some long yacht sail line, and I just move her left or right, very gently. We're just at the very beginning stages of ground driving. And if she makes the right, if she follows the right direction, I say good. I release the pressure, give her a little bit of a few seconds or even a couple of minutes of relaxation. The constant tight pressure. So it looks like she's trying to go slow, but I don't know if she is. I mean, she's letting the horse get into a trot, which again, it's just frustration. Okay, so apparently she wanted her to do that. Just, what was that like? She's throwing her head, and she's just pulling back at it and bouncing. Just frustration. Chewing on the bit still. Canter, and she just goes flying up and back into the seat and pulling on this bit. So I don't know why, if she's not going to go for a ride, I don't know why she has this on, because she's not like going around traffic. I mean, I don't know. She could wear whatever she wants. She could wear a plastic bag. That'd be awesome if she could, teach her to do that, but it would be a disaster. But I'm just curious as to why she's wearing her high-vis vest. Yeah, maybe it's just for the for the look. But sideways canter. Look at her, like she's literally running sideways. And as she throws a fit, because she says, it's not even that she's throwing a fit, as in like a tantrum. She's frustrated. And she says, ouch, when we run like this, it hurts. I mean, it looks like to me, I might just be an idiot. I'm sure plenty of people will let me know. Maybe even including Tara, that this group of muscles here looks like they're sticking out because they are either inflamed, or she's developing muscles in a weird position or a weird part of her body, or they're grouping up somewhere. I don't know. But this little lump here, that we looked at earlier, does not look natural to me. Clearly, I'm no expert, but that could be causing pain.
Bursting into canter.
So she's just bursting into canter. You haven't asked her to do any of this, apparently. At least I don't see it. If I don't see it and I'm confused, Lord only knows how confused the horse is. Immediately, she starts out with flared nostrils. We have more flared nostrils. Dripping, foaming. Poor little thing. Ouch. I mean, horses are extremely patient. Throwing her head, going sideways. She really doesn't like to canter because that's when you slam on her back more. A lot of weight, her legs are, I mean, who knows how often she does this. If she does this every day, this poor horse doesn't get a break. So she slows it down. She's still running sideways. I'm not doing this, clearly. My mouse is moving regularly. This is Tara's editing. Yeah, it's Bella. Bella's doing. Again, the fact that she remains so blind to it, that she remains ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. She doesn't want to see that she's causing this issue. So we'll just say it's either the horse's fault, or the horse is being silly, or she's just being Mary, or, all this. I really hate how people are like, oh, mayors are great. They're all, mayors are moody. Mayors are being mayors. People, they have a good reason to be irritated, okay? Just like anything else. Back into a trot. Did she stop her there? Did she want to stop her? It seems like she did. Okay, so now she's practicing on just standing. But she is really getting irritated. She's like, all right, let's go. The sooner I go, the sooner you get off of me. And she didn't really stop her there. If she wanted her to stop, then I would work on just stopping. And it's easier to do with a halter when you don't have a bit in the mouth. I would just say, if I'm going to teach you one thing, we're going to just walk when I say walk. And when we're going to stop, we're going to stop. And I'm just going to have you stand there for a couple seconds. But, I don't want her to go on her own without me giving her a specific cue. And, normally I'm not a control freak, but the only time, because she's going to be, if I'm going to be riding her and she's the source of transportation, as some people will say, just like with a dog or anything else, hey, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to tell you, don't move, don't take a step without me telling you, or I didn't tell you to move, or this or that nonsense, but I don't want you to start taking off. I want to be able to have control of you because I am on top of you. You are carrying me. It's still a teamwork. We need to work together, and if I'm going to have you stop, then I want to make sure that it's clear that I've asked you to stop, you stop, we stay there until I say, okay, now we can move on. Head still high. Ears are still back for the most part. Breathing heavy. God, look at this. I mean, like side lateral movements because she's trying to avoid the bit. I mean, if you just watch her nostrils, they really are trying to suck in a lot of air because it's hard work on this young horse and it's painful. And when you're in pain and you're working hard and you're not able to move your head naturally, you can't breathe properly. It's extra work for you. It's just a constant battle. See, look at all this wind. She's doing totally fine. She's not bucking here. She's not acting crazy. This wind is really going. So I don't think it's the wind, Tara. She saw something over here, so she's watching. Took her a second to see. So when I'd be looking at my horse's ears and where their head is going. And if they're looking this intent at something, then okay, we'll take this as a moment to go. We'll stop the horse and we'll just watch it. Or if she wants to, I will let her do it. I will let her decide. If she wants to stop and watch, she can. If she wants to keep walking, we can do that. I will just sit here and balance, and you can go where you want to. And I would be prepared that if you did spook and wanted to run, that we would be able to handle that. So, I don't fall off, or, I don't run you into some, a fence or something. Hello. Okay, so somebody's coming. Okay, so there's a person. God, look at this bit sticking out of this side. Like, my goodness. So maybe she was just doing this as a warm-up before she takes her out. No, maybe not. Had somebody stop by. Just, again, frothing. At least, I mean, I can't hear her saddle squeaking a whole bunch. I think she got a new one. I think I saw it somewhere in somebody's post. So that's good, at least, because that if that sound irritates me, I'm sure it's irritating to the horse. Not only just the sound, but just the rubbing and just... a little buck and they're trying to rear. And I don't think it's the wind, because she's not acting like the wind's scary. She's just getting irritated. She says, please let go of my mouth. It hurts. Get off my back. It hurts. Just frustration. She's trying so hard. And I don't know if Tara's meant to have a voiceover here or not. Just frustration. That's what I see.
Bella.
And somebody else in the peanut gallery over here. Naughty Bella. Another. So that sounded like maybe there was a little bit of thunder there. Could be that's what made her more excited. If it's windy, she could have more piss and vinegar, so to speak, or more energy in her. Because rain, and these guys like cooler weather, and a lot of animals act up when it's windy and rainy. Or she could just be, again, getting frustrated because she's going in another circle. Going straight into the canter. I don't think she's asked her to do any of this. I think she's just gotten on and let her do whatever she wants to, which, that's fine. I would prefer, to start with just walking. I think it's more clear communication if you're teaching the horse that, hey, just go when at whatever speed that I ask you to, and it for as long as I ask you to, which for me, it wouldn't be long. And I would just start with just walking. Let's just start walking and get a good stop and go. Again, she starts like kind of bowing up, like she wanted to buck or rear. Again, just frustration. So apparently she did stop her there. She has a good stop.
Just need a hand here, Ren's a bit tightly, I'm afraid.
Kick, kick, kick. So I saw that. So she wants to tighten the girth.
Good girl.
Jeez. Oh, yep. That's gonna. Ay. So as if it wasn't tight enough, tighten it more. And this is how you make a horse become, girthy or girth sour, whatever you want to call it, where they get irritated because you're cutting them in half. Irritation.
Stand now.
Can't breathe.
Stand, Bella.
Telling her to stand. She doesn't know how to stand. Which, again, is no fault of the horse. You haven't taught her to stand. You can't get off to fix your own girth, to get back on because it's too much work. So you have somebody else come and do it. You still can't even let go of her bit because she's only ever learned to stand still on a tight bit. And now, because you're afraid you're going to fall off, that saddle seemed fine to me. But, I mean, I'm fine with a little bit of room between the saddle and the horse. But apparently they don't want any... I don't know, they don't want any of that.
Stop. Bella. Stand.
You're essentially teaching her what stand means is to back up.
Thank you.
Runs her husband over. More side movements because she's trying to get release. Tight bit. Pounding on her back.
No.
Bella's getting more and more frustrated. And let me just say, I would not trot a horse, by choice or if I did for very long because I don't know how to do a post. I don't ride enough. I don't have, I don't know how to do a sitting post or a trotting post or whatever it is, okay? I'd be happy to practice that, but I'm fine just going for a little walk. If they want to do a couple little strides, then okay, I do my best to, stay balanced whenever I do ride, but I'm not, out here trying to do any of this. I just like to walk. I'm cold-blooded just like the drafts are. Lazy, just enjoy your ride. She's just using those reins to pull herself up and, with that trot, with that post. She uses it as balance and, to pull herself up and then she falls back down and then pull herself up and down. It's just like, I don't see a lot of the leg movement. Frustration, moving her feet a lot, dancing, swishing tail, head, mouth. She's irritated. And she's over here patting her. Like, that's what she wants. If she's trying to teach her to stand, that's not what the horse is learning. Just circles. Stop. Okay, that was a better stop. Like the horse chose to stop, and I don't know if she asked her to move on. If she did, then that would be perfect timing. The horse stopped, move on. But the horse Bella's ears have been pinned like this the whole time. Just irritation. Ouch. That wasn't a good stop there. Just a sudden, like, dig your feet in, kind of like, boom, stop on a dime. I mean, you can practice that. You can practice whatever you want to. Just, I didn't think that was... I want a slow start and a slow stop. I want to make it as easy as I can on the horse. Okay, so apparently now she's just doing more of the side movement. They say practice makes perfect. When the saying, is corrected to be perfect practice makes perfect. Because she's practicing a lot, but it's not going to make her perfect. She's practicing a lot of the wrong, confusing, less than ideal behaviors, we'll say. She's getting really good at that, but she's not practicing to become perfect. She's practicing at being a bad rider, and teaching this horse that riding is not fun. Ugh, it's just pain and irritation.
If you've enjoyed the video, don't
Oh yeah, let's play a little guitar in there and just. If you want to go support Tara, by all means, go ahead and do that. If you want to support me, I appreciate every subscriber and comment, and you're welcome to like or dislike. And if you want to check out Patreon, you can. Of course, it's not required, but it's always great. It helps the channel out. Let me know what you thought of this. Be sure to go say hi to your little critters, big or small or super tiny. Say hi to you for me. Give them some kind of loving. And until next time, stay positive.